Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am excited to introduce my Android app called Best Bike Days. This app helps cyclists like you to decide which days are best for riding by checking the weather forecast. Okay, now we are going to open the Best Bike Day in the Android Studio because I'm using Android Studio for developing the Android application. Okay, now I had opened the Best Bike Day, the project, and all the files have been loaded successfully. Okay, so now first of all, to give a preview, I'm going to run the application first. For that, go to run, choose run app. So this is emulator. First of all, I'll reinstall my application and not to view the onboarding screen. So my app has been successfully installed. Okay, so now we are seeing this is the onboarding screen. Whenever the app was installed for the first time, I would view the onboarding screen, which consists of three screens. Okay, in this first, we will see about this app introduced about the checking of weather conditions. And if I click next, now we will see it is used for getting the bike ride scores, and we would also incorporate the notifications through this app so that this informs about that information. So now we click get started. Okay. Mm, okay. So this onboarding activity.java. Okay. This is the file which I had used for the onboarding screen, which I had instructed before. Okay. So these are the files I had imported. Okay. So for the onboarding screen, I'm using the shared preferences, which is a local database storage, and this is a three text which we would which you would see in this screen, and this onCreate function where we would view where it is used for viewing the components, viewing the UI components, and this update with a button visibility method. Okay, and whenever I had clicked the get started button, the onboarding screen's functionality gets finished, so that this function is used to perform that functionality. Okay, and these are as follows. Okay, so after clicking get started, we'd head over on to the login activity. Okay, this is the code for login activity, and the UI of the login activity is kept as follows. And suppose if we didn't know the password, or if we forgot the password for signing up into our application, we click up the forgot password button. Okay, so it would display the message that we would need to enter our email, so that it will send a verification request. It will send a verification request. Whenever we click the verification request, we could easily enter application without the use of password, unless if we forget our password. Okay, so here's the register button. If I click the register button, here we could create a new account if we didn't log in if we didn't log in for the first time. So now I'm entering my name as follows. This is Praveen, and my email ID. And we will need to confirm our password. And finally, we'll click create account. So our account gets registered successfully. So this is the dashboard of our application. Okay, so here it consists of the application title, and this is the main activity screen. So the main activity screen is here. Okay, so I'd used OpenWeatherMap for API. So I had integrated the OpenWeatherMap's weather API to display the so first of all, to display the weather forecast, that is to display the 5-day weather forecast in order to ensure whether or weather is suitable for the particular day's biking ride or not. Okay, so here it consists of search interface. So whenever if we enter any location, so this this location name would get converted into the geolocation coordinate, which is performed by the process of geocoding API. So here is a geocoding service. Okay, if you click search, so here we will see the weather forecast for the 5-day weather forecast. Okay, so here's a percentage. Here's a percentage for whether we would whether it is suitable for biking or not. Okay, and here you see the wind speed and humidity, and either or whether it's like clear sky or it is very humid or rain. And I could even enable the dark theme also in my app. So similarly, I will see the weather forecast. I will see the 5-day weather forecast for our region. Okay, sometimes if we enter any international location like Louisiana. Okay, so I will need to enter my location name correctly, like New Jersey. So it will get converted to geolocation coordinate, and for that particular coordinates, okay, for the particular location coordinates, I would view the 5-day weather forecast, and we'll also check the percentage if it is whether suitable for bike ride or not. Okay, and I had used a settings module. I should say I had used a settings module. Okay, in order to convert our temperature or wind speed units to the respective format, or else um, it is also used for enabling the weather alerts, or changing the notifications, like enabling the daily notifications, or setting up the notification time in order to get notified about the particular weather condition. Okay, so now I'm changing from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and I'm changing the wind speed from kilometer per hour to meter per hour. Okay, so now if I again click the search button, see the temperature as well as the wind speed units get changed, but the percentage score gets remained as the same, because these are the quantities we need. These are the physical quantities we need to change, but this one is not. So okay, so these are the thing, and I would even enable the daily notification by clicking on the toggle, and I would also enable the weather alerts. Okay, so if I set that particular notification time, so this is a time picker dialog which I had used for enabling the notification time. So it is a 12-hour clock format. So if I set for 6:59 p.m. Okay, and I will choose. Sorry, I need to cancel it and go it again. Now it's 7 p.m. I click 7, and I'll choose a particular minute, or else we could choose our time manually, like is 8:30 p.m. or a.m. So okay, now I click OK. So I had set my notification time to 8:30 p.m. That means um, at every time of 8:30 p.m. I would receive a notification. I would receive a notification about the current weather situation which is present in our location. Okay, so I would again change it back to the like theme, and okay, whenever if I put any location name, this main screen data would get this main screen would get changed. See, I'm looking the weather forecast. Okay, once if I had cleared the location name, then I would see that message like explore bike weather. So I'd use the images and text in order to handle the situation whenever the location is not entered. Okay, and if we need to sign out from our application, then we could easily sign out, and it would return to a login screen. Okay, so again, okay, now we will move on to what are all the modules involved in our application. Okay, first of all, I need to explain about the purpose of this application. The main goal of the best bike days is to make your biking planning easier. It fetches a 5-day weather forecast from a trusted weather service. It calculates the bike day score based on the weather, as well as it shows which day is ideal for riding. So for the above, I use a percentage score in order to deal which day in which day as well as which time on that particular day is ideal for bike riding. Okay. Okay. Now we'll see how the app works. Okay. Um, I had segregated my application. I had segregated my application into the following modules. The first module is onboarding activity. Okay, the onboarding activity is displayed whenever the application was installed for the first time. Okay, and whenever our application is open, immediately a splash screen gets displayed. Okay, the splash screen is present here. So this is the splash screen, and I would even open the login image. So this is a splash screen which I would view it every time when I open our application. Okay, so it consists of an image and text view. So this is the image view and this is a text view, and I had aligned my themes according to material theme. Okay, so I had used on create method, and see, I'd use the image view and animation. So I'd use animation in order to facilitate the smooth transition of our application, and intent. So the intent is generally used for moving from a particular activity to another activity which we intend. Okay. So here I'd use intent in order to move from the onboarding, in order to move from onboarding screen to the login screen. Okay. Sorry. Um, in this code, I written intent for moving on to splash screen to onboarding screen if the app is installed for the first time. Otherwise, if the app is once installed, then after the splash screen, it moves on to the login screen. Okay, and as you would already know, in this login activity, I had used Firebase authentication. I'd use Firebase authentication for secure. I'd use Firebase authentication for secure login as well as registration of our application. And I had even used the Firebase method of a password reset for enabling the functionality of the forgot password option. And I'd also used the progress bar in order to remove the lagging time of action. And as a register screen. Okay, here's the register activity. For the login activity and register activity, I had used Firebase authentication. So the implementation code are present here. Auth manager, Firebase auth, and database reference. Okay. And here's the Firebase authentication. I had used the email option for authenticating with our application's login as well as register screen. Okay. So here are my user details, because I had authenticated this application for the first time, so that it gets stored in the authentication database. Okay, and this is the Firebase real-time database. Okay, I will explain it in some now. Okay, now I'll enter my details again here. So this is the main activity. I will show the code here. So I'd use the API key, and already I told that I'd use the weather API for viewing our 5-day weather forecast. That is fetching our required data from the open source API, and I'd also use the key dark mode in order to enable our application to work either in light mode or else even in dark mode. And I'd use the weather adapter, which is an important thing, and search edit text. So this is search edit text and location name. So whatever location we are entering in this search bar, it gets stored in the location name, which is used for transferring the data to the geolocation API in order to convert into location coordinates. Okay, and the toolbar, certain things I had used, and there's a clear button. Wait, so there's a clear button code, and there's a search image button. Okay, and apply theme, toggle theme, search your text. Okay, so whenever I perform the search, and after clicking the search button, it will display the weather data. Or else, if I didn't search if I didn't search the weather for any location, then I would display the screen. Okay, this will be handled by particular if condition, which is present here. So this is the main functionality. Highlight it. This is the main functionality which I use to give a location as an input through search bar, and after clicking search, it would fetch the required data. It would fetch the required data of the location from the OpenWeather API, which is handled by using this fetch weather data function. It uses the retrofit class, retrofit and weather service class. Okay, the weather service class is used to handle the API endpoints for the weather API, and I set up the weather adapter in order to view our required data from the given API response. Oh, this is a duplicated function. Okay. So that's all. The weather data function in the weather data fetching, first the app connects to a reliable weather API, as I mentioned here, in order to get the 5-day weather forecast, and you can search for a location by using the simple search bar. And so this is the bike day score percentage, and you would need to know how this bike day score has been calculated. It has been calculated by using the scoring algorithm. I would mention the scoring algorithm just present. Adapter. Yeah. So in the code of the adapter.java, I had mentioned the scoring algorithm. So this is a get score start color, get score end color, and dp to px, and another functionality that is weather view holder. Okay. So I mentioned these above functions. So these functions are responsible for using a scoring system which looks at different weather factors like temperature, wind speed, humidity, etc. So for good weather like clear skies, mild temperature, and light wind, it gets a high score, which is like 91% and 100%, etc. And for even bad weather, like if I enter New York, which you may already know, it has bad weather, so its percentage score is being reduced further. So that's it. For good weather, it would score. It would give the higher score, and for bad or poor weather, it would reduce the weather score. And now I'm moving on to the notification and alerts. So this is a real-time database manager, which is used to write the weather data. That is, these weather data are fetched from the API, and after fetching from the API, this gets displayed in this screen. And after that, these weather data would get pushed on to the Firebase real-time database, which I view here. See, I'd use the two fields. The first field is named as users, since I had logged into the application. So my name as well as email gets stored in this, and in the weather data field. So whatever weather forecast if had viewed, it gets displayed then and there. It gets displayed then and there. See, these are as follows. So it contains by day score, location, temperature, wind speed, and etc. So my weather data has been dynamic. Okay. So now we'll move it on to settings activity. Okay. So as I had already told, we could change the units and wind speed units, etc. And though now we'll see the concept of notifications and alerts. So for notifications and alerts, I'm using the broadcast receiver. So I'm using broadcast receiver for first for enabling the system to send the important informations through the form of notifications in order to listen and broadcast the events then and there. Okay. So in this notifications and alerts, the app sends daily notifications about the best 5 days to ride, and it also gives the real-time alerts if sudden weather changes which might affect your ride. Okay. So for converting the wind speed to the required unit, and for converting the temperature to the required one, so I had used the if else conditions, and there's the best biking conditions. So this is the message which I would view it on the notification. Okay. And this is the weather alert which I would enable it and view it through the notification itself. And that's all. And I will move it on to the Firebase data storage. And the preferences manager. So the preferences manager is used for viewing our weather forecast, or even we would technically say it as the caching of our weather forecast data locally for faster storage retrieval compared to the Firebase. But the Firebase database is also best, but it would enable us to um, render our application very faster by viewing the important data then and there. Okay. So now I would close my application and close the virtual device. Okay. So now we are going to see how to build the APK for our file. So first we would head over on to this hamburger icon. Okay. So go to the build option and we would click build app bundles or APKs. Okay, so then click the build APK option. So now our Gradle starts running and our APK build file gets created. So we need to click locate. So now our APK file has been created. So we would use this APK file across our we would use this APK file across our mobiles in order to install and view our application very easily, because APK stands for application package manager. So this is responsible for loading our Android or any other mobile application through our mobile phone. Okay, so these are the steps which are used for creating, running, as well as building our own APK file. Okay, that's a quick overview of the best bike days app. I hope this app helps you plan your rides and enjoy great weather for biking. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates, and leave comment if you have any questions. Thank you.